I always say, like, to the guys that I coach, your masculine side is what's going to attract a woman, and the feminine side is what will have her stay, because you want to connect to something that you know.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So healthy masculinity is a man who is definitely in his masculine, not embarrassed by it, not ashamed by it, doesn't feel that it's rapey to express interest, doesn't care about appearing creepy by stating what he wants. And at the same time, knows to be vulnerable. At the same time, knows that softness is not weakness. And at the same time, knows that when he needs to be soft, then that it's okay. And I would say even knows how to express that, and knows how to express how he feels.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Dating, Laughter and Disasters with me, Lulu Johnson, a show that's all about the highs and lows of modern dating. And on this podcast, we're laughing about it. Joining me on the show today is a male dating and relationship coach, Mr. Ari J. Cohen. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Nice to have you. Nice to have me.
Shall we edit that part out?
No, you can. Leave it in. Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. Ari, you help men date better. I want to just get straight into it with you. So your goal is to help men to find partnerships, and you want men to unlearn the toxic advice that they have received.
Sure. Well, when I say that I'm a dating coach for a lot of people, let's say when women hear that I'm a dating coach, there's always the eyebrow lift. It's like, oh, you're one of those Andrew Tate people.
I wouldn't have thought that, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, genuinely,
I appreciate that. But whenever you see someone who's like a dating coach, you always have this stigma, right? So when I decided to help men with relationships, and I always say relationships over dating, because I want to stand juxtaposed to all of these people who are, well, from a lack of a better word to say, manosphere. So these are the people who, off the top of my head, is like the Andrew Tates, the Myron Gaineses of the world, and the people who think that in order to, get a relationship, you need to be a high value man, and that women are looking for status. And this is all some sort of twisted power game. I want to stand against that, because I think that this is a culture that is first of all, it's very women hating. And I also think that every person that I met that followed this advice, whether they had success with women or not, and whatever success means is very subjective, these people were not happy. And none of them is in a good and happy relationship.
Like, where did it all start?
It started with me. Like, really, I grew up at a house where, like, love was a myth. My parents never showed love to each other. I kind of, how you kind of grow up, and the way that you grow up as a child is where you learn how kind of love works in a way. You learn how to give love and receive love, and by the way that your parents behave. And I never really learned how to give love and receive love. Like, I don't want to make it into like a sad story, but I was never hugged as a child. I was never and I never saw my dad love my mom or my mom love my dad. So for me, I grew up with a really broken model of what is a relationship. So you can imagine going into my early 20s, I had no idea how relationships work. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to make someone like me. And I just went from heartbreak to heartbreak. I was also very insecure as a younger man, a very angry person. So you can imagine that a young, insecure, angry man who doesn't know what a good relationship dictates, doesn't have good relationships. And one of the things that I really, really wanted since I was young is to find love and to have a good relationship. And so I decided to kind of figure that shit out. And I just went on a giant quest of research, so to speak, to kind of try to understand what the hell is this. And I kind of figured it out for myself. I'm now engaged. I have a really good relationship. I love my fiance, and I don't know, we're 3.5 years together. So I guess how it started was that one of my best friends, if not my best friend, also had women problems, because a lot of men have women problems. And I basically just told him the stuff that I know. And I'm like, hey, why don't you do this instead of doing that? Then he was like, he called me the next day, and he's like, bro, I just told her what you told me, and holy shit, she actually wanted to go on a date with me. I'm like, I know, try that now. And he was like, oh my God, what's going on? And basically slowly I gave him some tips and basically changed his life around. By the way, that guy, he was my first coaching client. He's now engaged.
Oh, yay.
So yeah, it's been a journey for him, but he's now engaged. But And he kind of told me like, hey man, you know, all this stuff that you have, this is good shit. Like you should do something about it. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do something about it. And then I did something about it. That's basically it. And my goal as a coach is not to teach men how to get laid as much as possible. If this is what they want, sure, do it. But it's like, my goal is for men to have a good relationship so they can build a family and have a good home where they can give love to their children and raise the next generation of humans that are happy and loving. This is where I'm coming from.
You talk about healthy masculinity. Can you explain what that means and how can men integrate that into their dating lives?
So healthy masculinity is when a man embodies primarily masculine traits, but also embodies the feminine traits and doesn't deny them. When you think about a man who is like in his, what people would call, and I hate this word, toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think there's toxic masculinity. I think there's toxic humans.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you look at a man who embodies only masculine traits, then you would have the Andrew Tates and Myron Gaineses of the world, right? Because they are all mission, purpose, logic, reason, aggression, dominance, and there's no softness, and there's no emotion, and there's no, at least integrated emotion. You know, there's no, I always say, like to the guys that I coach, your masculine side is what's going to attract a woman, and the feminine side is what will have her stay.
Love that. Yes.
Right. Because you want to connect to something that you know.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So healthy masculinity is a man who is definitely in his masculine, not embarrassed by it, not ashamed by it, doesn't feel that it's rapey to express interest, doesn't care about appearing creepy by stating what he wants. And at the same time, knows to be vulnerable. At the same time, knows that softness is not weakness. And at the same time, knows that when he needs to be soft, then that it's okay. And I would say even knows how to express that and knows how to express how he feels.
Because a lot of men have troubles being vulnerable, don't they? And this is the thing. And this is why I was glad to have you on, because I want more men who listen to my show to understand that it's okay to be vulnerable and open yourself up. Like you said, women are attracted to what they know. That would be femininity. So don't be afraid to show your feminine energy, to be soft, to be cuddly, to tell them you love them, to tell your mom on the phone that you love her before you hang up.
But there is a caveat here.
Okay.
There is a caveat here because like you're 100% right. Like there's nothing wrong about what you said. But let me point at you with a question. Right? If you started dating a guy and on the first date, he's already telling you how much he feels them and how much he's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And then and then let's say that she's really hot. So let's say something happened and you hooked up, right? And then he's already like, I love this so much. I love you so much. This is great. I'm like, turn off or turn on?
Turn off, of course.
Okay, let me make it more realistic for you.
Okay.
You dated a guy once, twice, 3 times. Okay, so that's like what, like 3 weeks? After 3 weeks, he already starts texting you every morning. Good morning. Go to sleep. Good night. Thinking about you. How would you feel if someone texts you this all the time?
I would have my guard up and be like, it's too much too soon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So this is like one of the things that like men kind of like struggle as well, because believe it or not, when men really like someone, they really want to text those things.
Okay.
They really want to do this, but they don't know, because what happens is that so many men did this and became vulnerable and got dumped.
Right. Okay.
And then a guy says, I'm trying to be vulnerable and I get dumped, but then I'm not being vulnerable and then I'm being told that I'm a stone. What? So like guys need to know how to pace dating, because like if there's one tip that I can give guys is that like if you really like someone, just breathe, give it space, because masculine energy is leadership. Men, and maybe people would not like me saying that, but I don't care because I know that what I'm saying is true. Men lead the dating process. Yeah. Men set the tone.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more. Definitely. I mean, I'll be honest, if I bring us back to this, but it's just like, I always think that men find relationships easier than women, to be honest. And I was just thinking about it today. I realize that it's like, if I want a man, it has to be up to him whether he wants a date or not, or whether he wants a relationship. I think they're the leaders in the dating scene.
Sure.
Be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. And I also think that like you being a woman, your nature is a little bit more anxious, and that's okay. Like it's okay to pine after a man. It's fine. Like I think that women are afraid to overchase, and women can chase, and it's okay. Women ideally, I don't like the word should, but should be chasing, because a guy who's chasing is a turnoff in almost all of the time.
Yeah.
If he's chasing you, you don't like it.
Well, yeah, but does a man like when a woman is chasing them? Because it's
If
like
he likes you, yes.
okay.
If he's the right man, yes. The problem is, and this is like, I think where your story came from, and where a lot of women, I think, feel really like frustrated with the dating market, and I feel them. I see my fiance's single friends. I'm like, I hear their stories, and I'm like, oh, because like really the amount of dumbasses that are out there is incredible.
I could write a second book on it, honestly.
I hear you. Like, I know. I mean, these people like come to my coaching, you know?
Yeah.
But most of the men will not have coaching. But again, I think that, like, let's say like this, there's a lot of women who are also behaving in a very, very horrible way in the dating world. And I understand the frustration coming from both sides. But I try not to focus on the frustration, and I try to focus like on, instead of how not, and what doesn't work. I always tell my guys, let's find something that does work. And I have several actionable steps that I offer any men, by the way, not just men, men and women, on how to meet people, how to meet a woman who is not how to meet 10,000 women a year, but how to meet 5 women a year.
Quality people.
Yeah. Because you want to make sure that the people that you actually go on a date with and spend your time, spend your money on, are actually people who want to spend time with you, right? And there is a process to that. But I think that every person should find this process and optimize it all the time, because it's really easy to be frustrated with the dating market and just continue doing what we've been doing all the time, whether it's going to Tinder or having 3 apps, or going to a nightclub to meet someone, or to a bar and hoping that you'll meet someone in a bar or a nightclub, and I think that these are all mistakes, because the chance that you'll meet someone in a bar and a nightclub that has similar values as you, similar ambitions as you, similar aspirations as you, similar wants as you, is almost zero.
So then tell us, where can we find these people?
So I like to think, like, my coaching is a lot about finding everything starts from inside. You have to look into the center of the mandala, right? The mandala is something that has endless complexity on its sides, and in the center there is one constant circle. Start from inside. Start from what you want, and you start getting really, really clear on what it is that you want in a relationship. Do you want a family? Do you not want a family? Do you want to have 1 partner, 2 partners? Like, get clear with that stuff. Once you're clear with that stuff, you should also be clear on what you don't want. So when I set out to find my person, I made like these 2 gigantic lists, the things that I want in a woman, all the things. I held no bars. It was like this and this and this and this and this. I want this, I want this, I want everything. Looks, personality trait, like everything. I did this, and then I did another list of all the stuff that I really don't want, all my red lines. I don't want someone who is toxic. I don't want someone who has daddy issues. I don't want someone who is manipulative. I don't want someone who's a liar. I don't want someone who's overweight. I don't want someone who smokes. I don't want someone who's unhealthy, you know, like all of these things, like because this fit to my values, right? Then what I did is I went to the list of the things that I wanted, and I chose the top 10 qualities that are most important to me. And I shit you not, I had these lists in my wallet for like until I met my girlfriend, my fiance, and I had like a list of 10 qualities every time. And every time I did this, I would like, you know, just had it in my wallet, and I would just take it out, look at it, and be like, okay, I'm ready to meet this person. I'm ready to meet this person. And you know how it is, like, it's like when you have like you know, it's kind of like how law of attraction works, in a sense that you have your consciousness like focused on something, then you're automatically kind of searching for it. It's a little bit like, yeah, if you bought like, I don't know, a Dodge Ram, and it's like a car. It's a car.
Okay.
so you bought like, it's a pickup truck.
Okay.
So let's say you bought one, and in the beginning you thought no one has this. This is really cool. And then once you have it, you realize, oh, there's one, and there's one, and there's one.
Yes, you've activated that energy almost, right?
100%.
To find,
So I had this list. And every time I would do this list, I would meet someone in about 90 days. Every time I would meet someone, I would look at the list and I would be like, okay, what is my standard? Is my standard a 6 out of 10? Is my standard an 8 out of 10? Because you can't have a 10 out of 10. I mean, most of the times. And I decided that my standard is an 8 out of a 10. So if I see that like I have 8 out of the 10 qualities in this person, I'm going to like be more open to it. If I see that it has less, I'm still going to be open to it. But let's say not as open. No, it's not a full body yes. You know what I mean? And I noticed that like, I would meet someone. Always, because I was kind of aligned, these people would be quality people. So it would be people that I would have a lot of fun with. It's not going to be people who would ghost me after a date or two. It's not going to be someone who I would get angry with after like a second. It's people who kind of like share similar stuff. So every time I would meet a person like this, and every time it didn't work out, I would think to myself, okay, why didn't it work out? Then I would go back to my list and I would modify my list. And I would think, like, I met this girl who was like, she was, I think, something like 8 out of 10 of my qualities, but she was in a polyamoric relationship. So it's a little, so for me, that was like, okay, I can have fun with this person, but I want a wife, I want kids, like, I want to have a family that's not going to be with this woman. So I went back to my list and I added single.
Okay.
Yeah. And, and this is what I did for a long, long time. And just before I met my girlfriend, my fiance, I had a list and I had 10 qualities on my list and I had 2 bonus qualities. And I thought to myself, that would be nice to have, because like, yeah, why not?
You deserve a bonus personality trait.
And then when I met her, we went on our first date and then I got back home and I looked at my list and I'm like, holy shit, she's a 12.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, calm down. Remember what you learned. Remember what you learned. Don't fuck it up, because this is actually the purpose of dating, right? To practice.
Yeah.
So I was very practiced, and I thought to myself, okay, let's just. I know that you want this to go. No, like remember what you learned. Take your time, patience, and there it is. Like now it's happening, and it's great.
So those lists to me sound like that's manifestation.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I tell you, there's a book right here at the table and it's called Calling in the One. And it's about manifesting. It's a 7-week course, which I did last year. And I manifested my now ex-boyfriend. He ticked everything on that list. And I showed him that list because after I finished that 7-week course, 8 days later, I met him. And I tell you, he was perfect for me. He was such a great guy that like took me so long to get over him. But I love that you're saying that, because I might have to go back and do that again, because only the other week I was just like, I have so much else to be doing. Why do I have to also add manifesting to my list of things to do? But the fact that you said that it's worked for you, and I know it's worked for me, I'm going to have to do it again, to be quite honest.
The one thing that I can definitely say for people who are in the dating world, which is hard. Definitely in your 30s, definitely in your 20s, actually even in your 20s. Like it's okay to be skeptical. Don't be naive, but don't get cynical.
I'm already cynical, unfortunately. I really want to undo that because I'm such a naturally optimistic person, but I have just been chewed up and spat out by most men in this city that I'm absolutely jaded.
I hear you. And if I'm allowed to be blunt, energy will come out when you're dating.
Yeah, I know.
And when men meet a new person, and I always said it to guys, okay? And I bet that this can work for women too, honestly, because we're all human, right? If I have a guy who has an ex-wife and that ex-wife's right, like she drained him dry with money, I don't know, whatever, she ruined his life. If you go on a first date and you tell a woman of how much of your ex is, what she's thinking is like, is that who's going to talk about me when we're dating, when we're through? Like, I don't want to date that guy. He's like a heap of negativity. Men, when they see a woman who is like, all like, I'm done with that stuff. I don't know. It's like, that's like, okay, go ahead, do your thing. I'm done.
I know, and I'm conscious of being negative about men on the show as well, because I love men. I'm as straight as an arrow. I've got great men in my life, great friends, great cousins who are like my brothers and stuff like that. Like, I don't hate men. I'm frustrated with the men who I've had to deal with. And I haven't bitched about my ex, like my last relationship, on the podcast because he wasn't toxic or anything like that. But I have complained enough about men, and I'm aware that that's probably coming against me. Another reason why I wear the mask and I hide the hair online is because, can you prove it's me behind the mask? You know what I mean? Because I'm Lulu, but offline I'm my real name, and like I'm kind of two of the same people, obviously. But yeah, I know that that's probably coming against me, that I'm like bitching about the men. But when you've just,
I'm just gonna say that your accent always gives you away.
Yeah, I know. It's the voice. I was recognized in a fucking bar one time because of my accent, and I'm like, fuck it, I need to start speaking like I'm from Australia. But yeah, it's definitely, as my mother said, she said, if you want something in the universe, you've just got to put it out there. You've got to ask the universe for something. And I agree. So I'm glad that you've said that thing.
I just want to actually go back to the list thing.
Okay,
because
great.
there's another step. And this is the step that will keep you away from cynicism. Because in the end, what puts you in cynicism is the fact that you're meeting all these assholes, right? How do you not meet the assholes? You got to filter out the bad patterns of dating and enter healthy patterns of dating. So once my guys have that list, what I tell them is, think now, here is the person who I want. Here are my 10 traits. Where can I find this person? Where is she going to be? Go there. Camp there. Make this place what I call your well.
Okay.
What is your well? Your well is the place where you have ideally a moderate influx of new people. They share similar interests to you, and you are familiar with the community. I'm against dating apps, personally.
Yeah, same.
I think dating apps is a cancer. It's a meat market, especially for men, mostly for men. Men suffer much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't do it. Just don't do it. So like, I think we should go back to like old school, go back to meeting humans. And when it comes to like my fiance, I was like, okay, I was coaching at a gym at that time, and I was thinking like
dating coaching or weights
no, I was a
coaching?
CrossFit coach.
Right, gotcha.
And I was coaching CrossFit at this gym, and I was there, and I was thinking to myself like, well, I never date clients because I'm an ethical person, but I was like, I'll just hang out there. And if I don't meet someone who's a member, I'll meet someone who's a friend of a member. And she came in there thinking the same thing.
Oh.
She was after a breakup, and she said to herself, like, okay, I want to meet someone who has similar values to me, someone who works out, because she's also she's a Pilates coach.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and I want to meet someone who's like health oriented and health focused. He came to the box. We met. I quit the box. And
what's the box? She came to the box.
The box is a CrossFit term for gym. She came
sorry, the box.
Sorry. It's just sorry. She came to the gym. We met there. And then once I left the gym, we kind of ran into each other again, and we kind of hooked it up.
But how do you get to that point of like asking someone who you know in like that kind of a setting? Like, did you say, hey, do you want to go for coffee? Do you want to hang out? Did you get the vibe that she liked you?
Do you want to know specifically with her how it happened?
If you don't mind sharing.
Sure. With her, it was like, I kind of thought she liked me, but I couldn't really, I didn't want to make a step so long as I was working there. And then this one day I was posting a video on Instagram, like after I left. I noticed she started liking more and more of my stories, and I was like, okay, all right, that's probably it. But you never. But I was like having breakfast with my cat in my garden, and I put that on my Instagram story, and then she commented, that looks really nice. And I was like, you should come along.
Oh.
And then she was like, okay.
Wow. How did you feel though sending that? Were you like, oh God, this could be awkward if she says no, but you already kind of got the vibe?
Not really.
And because men lead in dating.
I didn't care if it's awkward.
Okay. Fair.
I didn't care if it's awkward, because like one of the things about like healthy masculine energy is being able to say what you want and not giving a flying fuck about like how it comes up, because you know that you're not creepy. You know that your intentions are well. You know where your heart is.
Yeah.
And when you come to it's like a lot of women, when I ask them about, because I love asking women about these kind of things, just interesting. I always get the same thing, and you probably will agree. Maybe not. It's not about what men say, it's about how they say it.
Yeah, it's like anything really. Yeah.
Yeah. If the vibe is right, it's like, okay.
True. Yeah.
So I think this is this whole the masculine energy about it, and I always tell like also the guys that I coach, I'm never going to teach you a pickup line. I think it's bullshit. I will never ever teach you a pickup line. If you know the center of the mandala, if you know what you want, if you live the ethos of who you are, what you want to say will just come up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just naturally.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back then, where can we meet these people? So you should go to places that identifies with you and your ethics and your values.
Sure. Whatever that means for you. Oh. What do you like to do? And what is your, what are your hobbies and what are your values? Where would that person be? Go there.
Because like I go to the gym a lot and I go to group classes and stuff. Well, I've only started recently going to this certain class because I've been going to the women's gym, but I've changed it up now because I'm not going to meet a man in a woman's gym, am I? But I do find people go into these gym classes, they go and then they leave again. People hardly even talk to each other in Berlin.
I always suggest to go to somewhere that has a community element to it. So for example, CrossFit.
Yeah.
If you go to CrossFit has a huge element to it. Now I'm coaching at a box in Berlin. I know so many couples who met there, but there are a lot of CrossFit boxes and they all have a community element.
Yeah, that's true.
Go to a High Rocks gym.
Go to High Rocks.
High Rocks, CrossFit, all of that stuff. There's always a community element to it. And it's not like in a gym, honestly, I wouldn't use that as a place. It's like also when I go to a global gym, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like everybody's there with their headphones
exactly.
and
They're
like,
in
go fuck yourself.
Yeah, people are very
and-
unapproachable looking in those gyms.
But they are actually really nice if you talk to them.
100%.
If you break that mirror, but I like to think that if you use the gym as that well, use a gym that has a community element to it.
Makes sense. Where you actually work out with people and you speak to people.
Yeah, and you meet people, and it is expected that they'll talk to you, because like there's something that I call in my dating book. I explain it. I have a dating book called the Bearded Playbook, where I explain to men how to handle the dating process from the moment that you got a number and up until the moment that she's your girlfriend, essentially. So the Bearded Playbook is like I call it a guide for ethical dating.
Oh, where can people buy this now before you go on any further?
They can just go on my Instagram. There's links for everything.
Perfect. That's going to be in the description of the show.
Cool. So yeah, essentially it's just a guide, and there's also a video course with the guide, which is basically me going over the first edition of the book and just kind of like talking about it, giving a little bit more detail, where essentially it guides men around how to fan that flame, how to actually handle the dating process well, how to increase the attraction that is ever growing, because men don't know how to do that. Yeah, this is the Bearded Playbook.
We were talking about that earlier, that men don't know how to play it cool in the dating game. So is this what a lot of men are finding hard to do? Because in my experience with men, I feel like, there's a few things that I want to ask you. And okay. It has to do with men playing it cool. I always think that men have always played it cool. And the second part of that question is, when a guy has mistreated me or they've been caught out, in my experience, always think men don't give a shit.
When you say, I would just like watch my tone, or just watch my language, because this kind of creates that cynicism, right? Because that inner rhetoric, it's worth to be accurate. The words that you send out, they create your reality, because they're a reflection of who you are, right?
I've heard that, yeah.
I would say, instead of men don't give a shit, some men don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of men who give a lot of shit.
Really?
Yes.
About even them like upsetting the other woman for, say, don't want to date them anymore. Or
they give too much shit about that.
Oh. You see, I've had a lot of, I'm going to talk negative now, but I've had an abusive relationship, and I've had men really mistreat me. It's all in the book that I wrote as well. And I always got the impression that men were like purposely out to hurt me. So my experiences were that the guys, they mistreated me and they just didn't give a shit anymore. So whenever another person has done me bad, not in the same extent to the abuse that I suffered 10 years ago, I just always think men just brush it off, like situationships that I've had. Some men, okay. I feel like the men that I have experienced, though, that those kinds of men just don't give a shit. And therefore, I have the feeling that all men don't give a shit. But obviously, it's not all men, because I have great men in my life. I'm well aware of that. But all of my experiences, I just feel like I keep meeting just assholes, you know?
So far. But
honestly, even to this point of our conversation, I know already what I have to change. And,
awesome.
And because I've heard it before, you have to put out there what you want in the world. You have to say it's some, and you have to, like what you said, the words you say reflect on who you'll find and stuff like that. So you have to speak more positively, because you'll get it back.
It's like what it says on your wall. Life is too short to not love yourself.
Does it say that? Oh, it does, yeah.
It says that
yeah,
on your
it's
wall.
true. You notice that.
And if you love yourself and you know, like, fuck yeah, I'm awesome. If someone treats you like shit, it's not like maybe I'm the problem. It's like, okay, so that guy has a problem.
100%. No, look, I love myself. I know I'm not the problem. I have done the work.
But also, before you said, it seems like there was something wrong about me, because all of these people are treating me like this. It always happens to me. So it always happens to me is, forgive me, and I say, it's the victim archetype.
Okay.
Right? And we all like to be there, right? We all like to be in the victim archetype. But the victim archetype, something that characterizes the victim archetype is that it makes you stuck.
Yeah.
There's no movement in the victim archetype. There's no action. Like victim archetypes, if there's something that is colloquial to all the victim archetypes, men, women, everything, is that it has no movement and has no action. It always leads you to apathy, and that will always keep you in place.
God, you're so articulate, your words. I know the word apathy, but explain the word apathy.
Apathy is simply to just be numb and not do nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I have been numb for quite some time, and I would definitely say that. But okay, I'm gonna do the things that you're speaking about. And so, when it comes to lads, the other part of that statement that I'd said was, my experience is that I find all lads are super chill about like dating.
when men are head over heels in love with someone, they will a lot of times they would be over chasing.
Yeah, I had that once.
You never you can't assume anything when you're dating someone for a little bit, because you never know what happened 3 months before with this person.
For sure, yeah.
It's like when I say, when a guy tells me like, oh my God, I talked to this girl and she looked so interested. She gave me your number and then I messaged her and she didn't answer. What did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Because they think there must be a tactic that they might have misplaced, or that maybe there was something in the conversation, and they start going back and analyzing the conversation. I'm like, bro, you never know what went on in the background. Maybe her ex-boyfriend came into the picture again. Maybe her grandpa died. Maybe she got a job offer in freaking Timbuktu. You never know what happened. And so I think, like, you should never assume. And someone once told me that the word assume is, if you
to
take
make
it and
an
break
ass
it
of
down,
you and me.
Exactly.
I
Hey,
know.
you're the first person who came back to me with that. Nice. You're the first person who knew that.
Nice.
And it's really true.
Yeah.
It's really true. So like in those kind of things in the dating world, I think that you can't stay too long on failures. And if you gave it your best at something, it didn't work out, pack it to experience and move on. It is what it is.
Lads, if you're enjoying the show, why don't you like, share, subscribe, and be sure to rate it on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever the hell you listen to this podcast. Back to the show. So what is your experience for people who are suffering in the dating scene, that they're not getting places, they're meeting people in bars, those people will not text them back? What do you say?
If you are not happy with your dating situation, you have to look at what patterns you're currently engaging in, what behaviors you're currently engaging in that create the reality of your life. Because usually your behaviors is a reflection of your beliefs. Like what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world, that creates your behaviors and that creates your reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, like with my men, I always go deep with them. And I always say that the process to becoming that man is a process that is internal, and out of that internal state, everything else will come. Because when I hate to say these cliches, but when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if you feel stuck and lost in the dating world, look at, first of all, listing. Go back to the beginning of the podcast, listen to that. Go to the place where the person who you think you have the same values with goes. And this is, by the way, another thing. I would aim for values and not for looks.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, clearly you have to be attracted to someone. So there has to be like a standard. Sure. You know, you don't want to date someone who looks like, I don't know, someone that is so far-fetched from what you like, just because they're nice, right?
The cat is a devil. Shut off, Tiggy. Come on, we're working here. You beauty. You were summarizing that. So after the list, after the finding
like
the environment.
Filter for values. For values. And don't be embarrassed to filter fast. You know, the first date is a job interview.
Yes, I always say the same. Yeah.
And don't be afraid. Like, you don't have to spill all your traumas about this person and state, you know, like, but yes, say what it is that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them if they're looking for the same thing. You know, so many people are like, but what if I come off as too heavy? What if they reject me? What if yeah, sure, but this is who you are. It's like, yeah, I'm here because I'm looking for a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm looking for a relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you, but I just want you to know that this is my aspiration. So if you want to fuck around, like, I'm not really there. I'm not there. Okay. I just want you to know that if we like each other, this is the direction that I would like it to go. You know, it's not like I expect you to be my boyfriend. I meet you, I know you for 20 minutes, right? Or if I expect you to be my girlfriend, but this is what I want in the future. And it's really cool to ask. I think it's really okay to ask, hey, where are you in life right now? You can always demand more truth. It's like, yeah, I get you. That's all right. Can I ask, what are you looking for in general? Do you have like, I just want to know that I'm not wasting my time here. Because if he tells you, hey, this might be a thing, what is a thing? You know, it's like, if you see yourself, like, if he tells you that, I don't see myself like having a girlfriend for the next 4 years. Just want to fuck around for 4 years. And then, you know, so it's like, okay, cool. Ciao.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I think, especially like when you're in your 20s, it makes so much more sense that someone will tell you, I just want to fuck around. And that might be cool with you because you want to fuck around too. And then awesome, you know, but when you're in your 30s and you want to settle down, or even if you're in your 20s, you want to settle down, I think it's really cool to just be very clear about your intention, and don't be afraid to ask the other person about their intentions. You know, it's like, it's not creepy.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get rejected, in air quotes, you move on from it and you learn from it. And if you know what you want, just keep going until you find the person that wants the same as you, right?
100%. Because in the end, if you say, hey, I want a relationship, and this person doesn't want a relationship and they reject you, well, good riddance. He didn't want a relationship anyway, so you'll only end up getting hurt, you know?
Which brings us on to the topic of rejection. What advice can you give to my male listeners who are not dealing well with rejection?
Ask yourself, what are you afraid of?
Okay, I love that.
In the end, rejection faces us with the not good enough, right? I am not good enough. If you come to a point that you've done enough soul searching that all the bad things that someone can tell you, you already said to yourself, and you have worked it out with yourself, then there's like a line from like the other day I was listening to, like, I love Incubus, you know, they're a good.
Oh band. Yeah, I remember them.
So they have this one line of like, you should make amends with you, if only for better health. But if you really want to live, why don't you try and make yourself?
Oh.
So it's like, if you come to a point that all the shit that can be said about you, you said about yourself, and you have made amends with that, then rejection is not that bad. Because you can just be like, okay, didn't work out. Okay, maybe she didn't like me. That's okay. Not everybody has to like me. That's fine.
Exactly. And rejection, they say, is redirection.
Sure.
Right? Or rejection is protection from the universe. And why should we ever put our self-worth in the hands of a stranger just because they said no? They could have been saying no for 1,001 reasons.
100%.
And that was the thing that I suffered with greatly up until like I was about 28 or 29 was I was putting it all back on my looks. I just thought, oh, it's because I'm ugly, because I don't look like Rihanna or Beyonce or something. And I think people do that a lot. They put their self-worth in the hands of strangers, which is why the dating apps are so toxic as well, right? Because it's like, oh, but this guy who I didn't even match with, he didn't match with me, or who I wanted to match me, he didn't match me. Therefore, I must be unworthy. It's crazy. Like, I mean, we've no education around dating at all. You know, like we are the first generation who are dating with all of this choice at our fingertips. I could be swiping from here in Paris right now, like looking for a French guy or something. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be seeing this amount of people available to us. Like back in the day, we didn't have this ability to see far and wide all over the world, to have all of these images of different people. It's warped our brains entirely, you know, and our standards are skewed, and like our image of beauty is skewed, or that's probably why we're staying single for longer for a multitude of reasons. But like there's just so much choice. Yes, we can be fussy, which is a good thing as well, because we can understand our standards and like we know our standards more. But it all comes back to loving yourself, and then if you love yourself enough, you're not going to take rejection badly.
100%. I think that also when you said all of these things, it came to me that all of these things are things that are happy oriented. And if you think about our culture, it's a culture that is very momentary happiness oriented and live the moment and people always aim for this happiness. This is why it's so hard to get rejected, because in the moment you are unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the aim should be joy and not happy, because happy is something that by definition is fleeting in the moment of the moment, right? It's like something that is of the moment. And if you constantly aim for happy, then when we are unhappy, we will think that something is wrong.
Okay. Wow.
And when we're aiming for joy, things that make our heart sing, this is why I say filter for values and not for looks. Align yourself around that, and then the people that you meet make your heart sing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you aim around, hey, does this person make my heart sing, or do I just really want to fuck this person?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. That's so cute. Made my heart sing. That's adorable. Like a little bird. This episode is sponsored by Dalriata for all of your favourite Irish and British foods. Check them out now on dalriata.de or call into them on Vinstraße 32 in Prenzlauer Berg. To help us not ghost people, what would you advise your men to say to a woman who he doesn't want to date anymore, rather than ghosting them and running away?
Let me ask you this. What would you like to hear?
Simply what I have said to men in the past. Hi, it was a lovely date, but I just don't see another date in the works happening. Wish you all the best. Thanks. Goodbye.
Sure.
That's enough, right? I mean, I didn't really even have to ask you, but if my male listeners hear coming from you, can you just tell them that it's not nice to ghost? Again, not all men, just some men, but I've been ghosted.
I would say that everybody's ghosting. Have you never ghosted anybody?
Sure, years ago, but I stopped doing it, and I became more ethical like that, because I was getting hurt by the ghosting, that I was like, you know what? It doesn't take 2 seconds. And the responses sometimes have been, okay, thanks, bye. a lot of the time didn't get responses back, or if I had met a guy from online and we hadn't exchanged numbers and I wrote the message on Tinder, they would just delete me. So that to me, and actually only this year when I went back on Hinge, I'd said it to a lad who I think he wasn't looking for a relationship and I was, and we had been texting, and then I realized what his profile had said, and I messaged him saying, hey, I've actually just noticed on your profile that you're not looking for anything serious right now. I said, to be honest, that's what I am looking for. So it was kids. He was looking for kids. I wasn't. And I said, so I just don't think there's much point in continuing this conversation, but, just wanted to let you know, very kindly said it, just deleted me. And I was like, you see, that's why online dating isn't good, because people are just like, whatever, bitch, bye, next, please. And I'm like, just be ethical. If you don't want to be ghosted.
This is online dating. It's whatever, next.
Yeah.
This is online dating. This is why I think it's just a toxic thing in general.
Totally. But it's just like, if you don't want to be ghosted, if you don't like the feeling of being ghosted, then treat someone else the way that you would want to be treated, which is just a simple text to say, thank you, but I'm not feeling it, all the best,
I hear you. And I think that you can be very, very happy, like very proud that you did that and you stood up for your own values.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that this is enough.
Yeah. And if you practice your own values, you'll feel better in yourself, and you know that you did the right thing and that you did what you believe in, right? And let the others.
I like to even tell guys because sometimes it's really weird with women. Sometimes they look super interested and then they just don't answer you. I had a case once, and I call it a Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, like if this is one of my techniques, but I don't really think it's a technique, but it's just a thing that I think is a nice thing to do, and it also helps you to kind of be complete with being ghosted. Like, I met this girl once, and she gave me a number, really nice girl, and then I texted her, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm coming back from vacation in a week. Let's talk then." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Text her in a week, not answering. Okay, but I really liked her. And usually I would be like, all right, fuck that. But I really like this one, So I was like, all right. So I just texted her like 4 days later.
Okay.
I was like, hey, listen, when we something like, I don't remember exactly the text, but it was something along the lines of like, hey, look, I don't make it a habit of chasing people and I won't do it now. However, I think when we met, it was really, really nice. And I liked you. And I thought it would be really cool to take you out for dinner. So if you're interested, let me know. And if not, have a great life. That's it.
Did she respond?
She did.
Oh.
We went on a really nice date. And it ended in that date. It never continued.
Okay, fair enough.
Date, but we had a really nice date.
But that's a lovely text to send to someone as well. Because I mean, just try again. If they don't text back the first time and you think it's ghosting, just try it one more time with that's a great message.
Yeah.
And any woman,
if anything, just put your heart out there. It's fine. You're not making a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
If you're telling someone, hey, I thought that you're really cute, and I think it would be a real shame if we miss each other, because I'm a great catch, and I think that you are too. So if you can go on, like, let's just go on like a little walk together, whatever. And if not, are good. Bye.
Yeah, I do. I think that's cute. And I think that just kind of reminds me of like a scene of a Hollywood movie. And then I know that guys might think that is making them out to be a bit creepy. But then it goes back to, well, if you believe in yourself and those are your values, just do it. But some guys, because guys don't go up to women that much anymore because they're afraid of coming off as being creepy. But sure. I like what you said at the start of like, that's what you believe about yourself, that you want to go out and get like that. You want to go and get what you want, and you believe in yourself that you're not a creep. Then you live by your values and you just do it.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. It's like if you approach a woman trying to be something, it will probably get shit in your face. But you want to approach a woman living the ethos of who you are. And whatever you say will be right. Like, I swear to God, one of my ex-girlfriends, I met her and my pickup line was, I forgot I don't eat apples. like literally.
Just for jokes, or it was like, because you don't eat apples.
I was doing a carnivore diet at the time, so I wasn't in. And then I was like, I don't know, I got an apple and I was like, hey, I forgot I don't eat apples.
Oh.
And that's it. That was the pickup line.
That's funny.
That broke the ice. Then we had a conversation.
Yeah. Just, don't be too serious. Keep it a bit lighthearted.
Don't be too serious and be direct. Women appreciate directness.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone went to you and like, hey, Lulu, you have great eyes. I think I really want to see more of those eyes. Even though it's a stupid and clunky pickup line, and I don't know, like, I'm really nervous right now. Can I have your number?
That would be so cute if a guy said to me, I'm a bit nervous right now, can I get your number? Oh my God, if any man came up to me in the bar and said that disarms the whole situation. He's not a creep, he's actually shy. Lads, listen to that one. That was a good one. Love that.
100%.
Down. Loving this.
Say that you're shy.
Yeah, even come up like that.
Say it.
I'm going to start using actually, because I went to a bar recently with a friend and I was like, that guy down there, send him my way. So she went down to him, and it turns out he was gay anyway. Like, fuck it, it's always the good looking ones. But like that, actually, because she's really shy and she's fucking beautiful. And she's like, I'm like, girl, you got to go approach these men. She's like a newly made friend in the last couple of months. We're both single and we wanted to go to bars together. And I
oh my
thought,
God, I would love to go to bars with you guys.
Oh God. Well, I haven't done it for a while because I just got out of the habit. But like, this is the thing. I don't want to go getting drunk in bars just to meet guys. I just love wine. It's the thing. The wine for me tastes like fun, so I might drink too much of it.
Okay. A lot of the struggle that most men are facing right now are several. Like, a lot of men are being ghosted a lot. Let's say it like this. There are three main, I call it, phases of an interaction with a woman. The first one is the single and searching phase. The second one is the dating phase. And the third one is the inner relationship phase. And all these three phases, men struggle. All these three phases require different behaviors. Because in one, you want to get a woman to trust you enough to take you out on a date. So that's from the moment of not knowing who the hell she is, not knowing who the hell you are, to the moment of her giving you her personal contacts and then agreeing to meet you one-on-one. And this is already like it's like a little bit in sales when they say you got the client to give you $1. That's like a huge thing, right? So same thing here, because women like take a huge risk by going one-on-one with a man. Like, men just risk being rejected. Women essentially risking rape.
Of course.
And then after that, there's the dating phase, which requires also a certain behavior, which is the whole purpose of the dating phase is to deepen the emotional and physical connection and decide if this is something that you want to do for a long time only with each other, or not only with each other, but you know what I mean. And then the relationship phase this is where all your childhood traumas come out and everything, like, and then you just like, after about 9 months, this is where the dating phase ends. And then after 9 months, the real person comes out, because after 9 months, it's all like fun.
Honeymoon phase is over.
Yeah, exactly. And then after 9 months, it's like, okay, there's the childhood traumas that hid in the closet. Okay, so you really hate that I do this with my teeth. Okay, fine. So I trigger your childhood traumas when I say this word because your mom used to tell that to you, and then you start ghosting me, and then you go walk out of the house. I never seen that behavior before. So this is like the relationship phase, and this is a whole different thing. And I like to think that and men struggle with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the solution to all of these is like, there are ways to kind of like, there are like social behaviors that you can learn, but these are like, they're tools. And a spoon is a really good tool to make a soup, but it's not a recipe, right? So you can gain tools all you want, but the recipe would be to find the center of the mandala, to look inside, to figure your own shit out, to understand who you are, to understand what are the beliefs that are orchestrating your life, where they come from and how to handle them. Jung always said that there's like like the self, there's not like one personality, there's like several personalities that are talking to each other. You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I want to get up. Oh no, but I want to stay. Oh, but I want coffee. Do I want tea? Oh no, I don't want this. Oh no, oh no, fuck everybody. Oh, I just want to go there. Oh, but I want to go. Oh, but I don't. There's like there's like so many personalities in your head.
Yeah.
And you always want to find a way to connect them and to have that conversation between them, to integrate them into what's called your higher self. And your higher self is kind of like that, the biggest center of consciousness that kind of like is and you want to, like, at least according to Jungian psychology, is you want to integrate all of these tiny personalities, and you have also you have many mental tools to do that with, but to integrate all of them into the self, because once they are all integrated, then you can contain them and you accept them and you live with them without resistance, because that little voice inside you that tells you that you were a little shit, that's been there since you're 6. If you don't pick up on that voice, it'll be there always. And you always think that you're a shit. So you want to really have that deep conversation, multiple conversations over time, figuring out why it is that you think that you're a shit. And that is the kind of like the long and unsexy way to be good at these things.
Yeah, but it has to be done because so many people out there are not resolving their childhood issues. They're bringing it into their relationships. That's causing toxicity. It's causing unhappiness and within yourself and within your relationship and others,
But it's not sexy to tell someone something like, hey, do you want to be good dating material? get over your childhood traumas, you know, not really.
No, of course not. But like, we all need to kind of do the work now. And like, you see all the books that I have there, there's even more like behind them. It's a big stack of them. I've done the work and I've, you know, been to therapy. And like, can you recommend any books that you've read that your clients have found useful?
The Bearded Playbook,
of course.
Yeah, I actually in my modern I have my men's group called the Modern Masculinity Club. It's like my clients, when they sign up with me, they join into a group.
Oh, fantastic!
And in that group, there's like, apart from a course that they're getting, there's like a giant list of books. But if you want, I can share that list of books with you, and then you can put it in your show notes.
Yeah, great. So
I have over 50 books there.
Fantastic. So you join like a man's group and you build a community online, offline, both?
I basically have an online community of men who's gone through my basic course that is called the Modern Masculinity Club. Right now I don't do that offer anymore. Right now I only offer one-on-ones. Because my time is like very limited and I do also other things. So I only offer one-on-ones right now. And when you do a one-on-one with me, you join the men's group.
Amazing. So there's a forum, or there's WhatsApp group for men to like.
Yeah.
Love that. See, that's what men need more of, is support. And
yeah, sure. That's why I did it.
Exactly. And for like men to bounce off each other. Like, I could meet a stranger in like a random woman from somewhere and just tell her my whole life story in a cafe, and I've only met her 2 minutes ago. Men probably not so easily, right?
Some are, some aren't.
Some, you know, but like overall though, men don't really go out. Like, men will play football together, drink beer together, kind of share their feelings drunkenly. I know this is an Irish thing that they do, you know, and rather than talk about things maybe face to face. Or am I generalizing again?
I mean, a lot of men, yeah. I like to surround myself with men who, like, for me, I love to go deep when I talk with people. Like, I like to surround myself with these kind of people.
But there's lots of men out there that will like drink just to tell their friend that something's going on in their marriage or something. Or some fellas, like a certain guy that I know, wouldn't tell his friends that his marriage was breaking apart because he was too ashamed of it, and all of this kind of thing. There's not enough support groups, I feel, for men.
I would say yes, 100%. And like, if there's one thing that I can tell your listeners about, you said shame. The way to handle shame is just to be able to express it out loud in a judgment-free space. Because when you're extremely shameful about something, just saying it out loud in a judgment-free space creates healing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of us, men and women, carry a lot of shame.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of shame. The dating world, a lot of shame. But overcoming that shame is something that is so healing, and it makes you such a fun dating partner.
Yeah.
Like when you're shameless.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Just in life in general. And that's why therapy, or finding someone that you can trust just to speak to about certain issues or shame that you carry, it's such a weight is lifted off your life just by airing out what's going on inside. Oh my God. There's nothing better, because so many people bottle things up and then they just pop overnight like a bottle of champagne. They get really angry and they have these outbursts, and that's never healthy, right? So we all know people like that.
Serial killers.
Where can they find you on Instagram and all of the playbook and everything?
My Instagram is called Strength in Relationships. This is where I have all my stuff. My website is www.strengthinrelationships.com, where there's a bunch of free content there. There's a video there showing I basically explain how my clients got everything they wanted. And there's also a bunch of free content there. And there's ways to book calls with me if you want to book a consultation call. Yeah, that's it.
Stunning. Great. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I've learned
really
so much.
I'm really happy that you're not cynical.
I'm not. No, like I'm not. I just need someone to remind me to not be cynical, and then I won't be, and then I'll say all the things in a positive way, and I just needed to be re-energized. So I got cynical, but I can be lifted out of my cynical hole.
That's really important. It's not about how often we go there. It's about how fast we can get out once we do.
Love that. Stunning. Right, lads. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you another time on Dating, Laughter and Disasters. Bye.
Bye, everybody.